The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has released a fresh report, an assessment report today that has sounded code red for humanity. What is code red? Well, these are changes in Earth's climate in every region across the globe and the climate system. It has continued. The report talks about increase in the rise in sea levels, something that is irreversible over hundreds of years and thousands of years, as well as some say. But what can be done at this point and what should be done? What should be the approach of not just India but the world? Watch this report for more.
Recent disasters across India, but scientists in a major climate change report by the UN say such incidents will occur more frequently. More heat waves, more droughts, melting glaciers, intense one-day rainfall, coastal flooding, more cyclones. The frequency and intensity of such disasters are not natural but human-made.
We'll see more compound events from sea level rise, so flooding. Even if we stop emitting right now or stop global warming at 1.5 degrees, we will see further retreat of glaciers, including in the Himalayas.
Why is this happening? The reason for such rapid climate change is human activity. It is producing massive amounts of heat-absorbing greenhouse gases or GHGs released by burning fossil fuels like coal and petroleum products, deforestation and agriculture. These greenhouse gases trap heat and warm the climate.
And unprecedented for the IPCC.
The report by the IPCC or Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, of which India is one of the 195 member nations, says global warming will exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius in the next 20 years. It is currently about 1.1 degrees and the landmark 2015 Paris Climate Agreement had identified 1.5 degrees as the goal to limit warming. Globally, 1 in 10-year hot extreme events will occur 5 times more frequently at 2 degrees Celsius. At 4 degrees, these 1 in 10 events will likely happen 9.4 times in a 10-year period, nearly once a year on average. Ahead of the Glasgow Climate Conference later this year, the report is a key tool to get governments to step up their pledges to cut emissions, just like the last assessment report did for the Paris Conference. But as of now, several big countries have announced net zero targets by around 2050-2060, but India has pushed back on global pressure to do so. India says developed nations don't consider the rights of developing countries to economic growth. India wants the G20 countries to reduce per capita emissions. India is the third largest polluter but has one of the lowest per capita emissions, especially among large economies. So far, almost all pledges by governments fall short of the Paris Conference's target to keep warming ideally to 1.5 degrees. Now they are being called upon to make even more immediate, rapid and large-scale reductions in emissions.
Yeah, this is a very, very good point.
However, one of the report's authors says India should focus on alternative strategies, not a net zero.
India is supposed to reduce the emission intensity. On the net emissions, we are not asked to reduce immediately. But we improve our system so that we, per dollar of income, we emit less emissions. If you do waste management better, if you do like a vehicular management better, if you improve a thermal power plant, for thermal power plant also have the efficiency issue, right? You can improve the efficiency of thermal power plant.
This report has rung a lot of alarm bells, and that is why climate conferences, which usually see more blame games than action, are expected to deal with the crisis better this time. 195 IPCC member countries are going to decide the fate of 7 billion people and also of our future generations. In New Delhi with Chetan Bhattacharjee and camera person Rakesh Singh, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.